Another fairly well-known passage here, Matthew 7:24 to 29. Therefore, said Jesus, this is rounding off the Sermon on the Mount, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house upon a rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, yet it did not fall down because it had its foundation on a rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and doesn't put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, the wind blew and beat against the house, and it fell with a great crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowd were amazed at his teaching, because he had taught them as one who had authority, not as the teachers of the law. So, we wrap up the Sermon on the Mount with this key parable. It's one that my grandchildren love. One man builds his house on a solid foundation, and when the storms and floods come, the house stands firm. Another man builds his house on without good foundations on sand, which, as we know, gets soggy, turns mushy, and can't support anything. But interestingly, both people had heard the words of Jesus. Okay, one of them put them into practice, and the other one didn't put them into practice. So it's not as if they were ignorant of Jesus. They had heard what they heard and decided whether or not to take heed of his words. The same storm comes to both of them, and in one, the house stands firm, and in the other, the house collapses. When you build your life upon the teaching and the words of Jesus, as a day-by-day disciple of his, being filled with his Holy Spirit at the same time, you are building your house on a strong foundation, trust me. And when the storms of life come, and they will, trust me, they will, and they pound away at you, you get wet, sure, you get battered, yes, you may even get hurt, sometimes badly. But your house, your spirit, your soul stands firm. Because once Jesus comes into your life, no one can take that away from you. No one.